Hey guys, this is John, and we've got some 5-minute action. I'm playing I Am Providence from Providence, Rhode Island. Just kidding. Probably not. Oh, it's John Bryant. Okay. I'm going to play the Scandinavian against him. John Bryant, very talented, dynamic player. He actually went to the same school as me, the University of Texas at Dallas. So we'll see what he plays. I think this is a guy who knows his theory. I think he studies openings quite a bit. So I'd expect him to go down some main road, like probably bishop d2 in this position. So let's see what he does. Knight d5 is the critical move. Yep, he plays it. I'll retreat the queen.
Check.
I'll take with a pawn. Not really a fan of the queen takes f6 lines. Bishop b3 is the main move now for white. There are alternatives, like c3 is possible, queen e2 is possible, although queen e2 gives black the option of taking on c2, if I want to be particularly bold. So, if he knows what's good for him, he'll play bishop e3. My 5-minute rating took a little hit recently. Lost to a couple low-rated players. Meanwhile, my 3-minute rating has been going up. Go figure, right? So he took a while and then played bishop b3. That's the right idea. Yep, knight h4. Sometimes people play f4 in this position, which is kind of interesting, I think. f4, black can play f5 is the thing. Often black will play f5 in these positions, even though it means shutting out the light square bishop, hoping that it reemerges on the h5 d1 diagonal later. He's taken a real long time, though. I'm surprised. Castle's short. Wow. Generally, that's not advisable. But we'll see. I'm just going to castle long. He can start pawn storming me now. Although his bishop being here does inhibit a pawn storm a little bit. So let's just play bishop d6. Like, he can't throw his b pawn at me as easily. So he's probably going to be attacking with either c4, c5, or a4, a5, a6, which does take a while. I can try to get my position going in a couple ways. Like, it seems logical for me to attack on the king side, but I found in these types of positions it's often not that easy to do. I kind of want to do the f5 and knight f6 plan, to be quite honest. I'm going to tuck my king away first, just stay flexible. But I'm really keeping this f5 idea in mind. He is gearing up for c4, though. So like if I play f5, c4 does trouble me a little bit, because I don't want to allow him to play c5 if his bishop can just pop out on f4 right away. So maybe rook g8. Rook g8 would be flexible. What else? I could play c5 myself. It seems slightly premature to do that, though. Let's go rook g8. Can't make up my mind. Okay, we're going f5. We're going to do this. Thing is, I don't know how quickly I can play knight f6. Okay, and he does play c4, so my plan was to play c5 against this. Okay. Now I probably should put my rook in the center. Rook he8. Yeah, I think so. It is possible for him to play d5 in this position. d5 would be interesting. d5 I could play e5, though, and close it down. And then maybe look to advance e4 shortly thereafter. So that's a good move. That takes aim against my knight. If I take, he takes with his bishop, most likely. I could play e5 then. Might not be so bad. Rook e7 is possible. I don't like where rook e7's heading, though. I'm going to take. We'll release the tension. Takes with the rook. Now, bishop c5 is an incredibly obvious move. Is it the best, though? Or am I better off playing e5? I'm just going to go bishop c5. Oh, does he have that? And then bishop e5? Yeah, but I can do this, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, I missed that tactical sequence. That's annoying. Yeah, okay. Just missed that. Not good. Okay, I'm just losing now. I'm losing a piece. Not fun. He can just retreat his bishop, and I have no compensation. Blunder alert. I should have probably anticipated that I would get into some sort of trouble on the diagonal leading to my king. Rook d1, do I have anything tricky against that? Probably not. Let's just go queen b4. Just for fun.
Check.
His queen's going to get into c7, it looks like. This looks kind of gross. Yeah. He plays it safe. Yeah, with this pawn coming to c6, that's pretty over. Let's try one last cheap shot. Hey, you're not going to see your hanging rook. You're totally not going to see it. He could just go hide his rook in the corner, practically. Like rook a1 would not be bad here. I predict he'll play rook f1. That's what I think he'll do. Oh, queen d6. None of the above. Yeah, this is pretty much over, so I'm going to resign. So in that position, I should have played probably something other than taking on d4. And I'm talking about the position, where was it? On move 19-ish? Maybe 18? Rook he8 already might be suspect. So let's go ahead and look at this. So this line was all standard. Knight h4 played a tad early, but castling kingside is interesting. And it certainly makes for a double-edged position. I think my position's fine at this stage. I bet the computer will like white, but that's not uncommon in this opening. F5 might be optimistic. Maybe I should just play like rook he8, something along those lines. Centralize. c5 is also possible, but I wanted to keep the c5 move in reserve until he plays c3. Yeah, I think I just loosened my position a bit too much here. Okay. Computer does like c5. So I did this and then c4. Now, as I was saying, since my king's on b8, I have to be really cautious about allowing c5. Because if he was able to play c5 and my bishop has to retreat, well, bishop f4 is disastrous. So the engine's suggesting just hiding the king in the corner. But I played a more combative move. It says taking on c5 immediately would have been better for him. I guess that leads to similar play. Like if take, I'd probably take with the knight. And then bishop c3. Yeah, and this rook takes d6 idea is in the air, and he's threatening bishop takes h8. Okay. So, Yeah, I'm double thinking f5 now. I don't think that was a good idea. Did I say double thinking? I meant second guessing. Double think. Sounds like 1984, if anyone's read that book. Double plus good. No, but in this position, I guess I got to choose something better than rook he8, because bishop a4 could be a serious problem, as it was in the game. I mean, I kind of, in the back of my head, I knew that bishop a4 was possible, but I kind of just had a mentality like I would deal with it when it happens. But, yeah, I dealt with it poorly. So already this position's tough. I mean, if we look at it from White's point of view, I think he's wonderfully coordinated. The knight is the only piece that maybe he'd like to improve, but this knight often has the role of just holding the light square bishop hostage in this opening. So I have problems on my dark squares. I need that dark square bishop to remain safe. Yeah, that was a mistake. Rook he8. So let's say I take, as the computer's suggesting, and then rook takes. Maybe e5, blunt the diagonal. That's not a bad idea. Rook d2, f6, suggesting changing the pawn structure. We've talked about in past videos how if you have a problem with a bishop on a long diagonal, trying to arrange two connected pawns on that diagonal to kind of take out its influence, it's a good strategy to do so if you're able. Okay, so after rook he8, bishop a4, it seems like I'm in pretty big trouble. Yeah, now this was pretty much losing on the spot. Okay, so I did have to play e5, although it's still a very tough position for me to defend, if not impossible. Rook d5. I'm just too tenuously placed on this d file. I could see that. Yep, and this is a nice combination. And take there. And the point is that if I take here, he just has rook d1. Pin and win. And I can't even defend this bishop again, but even if I could, he has numerous ways to attack it again, like c5, or maybe even bringing his queen in. So good tactical vision. He found that like right away. Yeah, and I could just as well resign against a player like this, but I figured with him having roughly a minute left, maybe I'd try some cheap shot, but totally resignable. All right, well, I hate to lose in my pet opening, but those are the breaks sometimes. I'll check out this castling short approach, see what I can find for black. Well, thank you guys for watching, and please leave me any feedback in the comments. Bye, guys.